Taatletail versus King's Chapel. The rumble at Otaki, folks. Here's Tony's description.
Thanks, Andre. Just awaiting Heloise to walk up into the barriers, and the Bayer Classic of 2003 will be ready to go. The colt King's Chapel is just the favourite at $2.95 ahead of the filly Taatletail at $3.20 and Rockabubble at $9.30. Dan Bird at $10.20. All the talking is over. A great race about to commence. The running of the Bayer. We're set. Line looks good. Starter looking across them. Dan Bird with the attendant up, moving around. Artemisia on the jig in barrier 3. Settles racing in the Bayer Classic, and Artemisia a little bit slow to begin. Russian Pearl goes back with Rockabubble. Dan Bird began fast. Pride of the Class goes with him on the inside, and then King's Chapel pressing forward around Rat-Tat. Heloise the next to Brave Flyer, and then Taatletail the outside as Magistrate Delecta when they settle down. They're followed by Warramar to Dan the inside of Rockabubble at the 1200. Russian Pearl is second from last, and Artemisia is last in the Bayer as they run down the back, and Dan Bird's the leader. Second over on the outside is King's Chapel. Pride of the Class is getting the run of the race. Magistrate Delecta working 3 out, and Rat-Tat in the centre. The next Heloise to Taatletail, ridden off the pace. She's a little worse than midfield, 800 metres to go. Brave Flyer the inside. Rockabubble and Warramar starting to take off from to Dan. Russian Pearl, and Artemisia was last of all. Dan Bird tackled by King's Chapel at the 600 metres. They eyeball each other coming to the home corner. Magistrate Delecta, then Rat-Tat behind them. Pride of the Class. Taatletail's about to go forward, and then Warramar, Heloise. Rockabubble is taking off with Russian Pearl and Brave Flyer as they turn. Dan Bird tackled by King's Chapel, and Taatletail over on the outside sprinting hard. She ranged up to King's Chapel, who finds again as too does Dan Bird. Russian Pearl out of the ground the last little bit. Taatletail from King's Chapel. Russian Pearl is flying on the outside. Taatletail finding. Russian Pearl launched. I don't know. Very close in the finish. Taatletail and Russian Pearl could easily be the other way. And then King's Chapel. Behind them, Dan Bird to turn. Pride of the Class. Brave Fly. Heloise, Rockabubble, Magistrate Delecta, Warramar, Rat-Tat. And then we had the last one, Artemisia. Russian Pearl has had one last dig and might have got up. This is close. Taatletail in front until the very last stride. And Hayden Tinsley and Russian Pearl flew at it, watching the replay, desperately close. And I think he's done it. I think 6 Russian Pearl will win the Bayer Classic, ladies and gentlemen. Await the judges' call. Taatletail right with him. King's Chapel will be the third, and Dan Bird the fourth. Sensational performance, sensational race. And what a great win, what a great effort here. We had Taatletail going to the lead. King's Chapel, he travelled beautifully on the outside of Dan Bird, and Taatletail got to him. And then Russian Pearl. Here's the judge's call.
Horses in the call are 6 Russian Pearl, 9 Taatletail, 1 King's Chapel, 2 Dan Bird, 4 Brave Flyer, 7 to Dan. 6, 9, 1, 2, 4, 7. All riders are required to weigh, and the time is 1:34.96.
We've got Andre standing by with Stewie Hale by the looks. Russian Pearl winning the Bayer Classic for 2003.